Hello everybody, welcome back. I did say this morning that I will be back with more streaming later this afternoon, and here we are. Finally, I'm going to get a chance to play Arcade Spirits. So this is one of my wife's favorite games, so she's in the room with me. She's just off camera, so if you want to say hello. Hi. Amanda, she loves this game. She's played it so much.
I've played every permutation.
Yes, she has played it extensively, but is going to try to avoid...
I'm not telling you what to do, you do what you want to do.
She's not railroading me. So yeah, I have not had a chance to play Arcade Spirits myself, primarily because I was waiting for it to come out for consoles. And although it came out for PC a year ago?
Yeah, it came out
a while back. It hadn't been available on consoles until just now. Actually, today, it was active on my Switch at midnight, and I was like, oh, I want to play it now, but I'll wait until I have a chance to do it with my chat. So, if you're in chat, hop in, say hello, put down some roots. I'll give you some seeds, and you can play the seed mini game that we have. and you can give me recommendations and such for how to play. My first playthrough, so Arcade Spirits, it's a visual novel sort of thing where you're running an arcade or helping to run an arcade initially. And you'll see as we get into the game. And it's very well written to allow you to sculpt your character. It gives you a lot of input on how you're doing on sculpting your character, on creating your sort of archetype. I'm just going to try and make me. So we're going to choose options that fit who I feel I am as a person. Just insert myself wholesale into the year 20XX.
That's what I did the first time I played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see how things turn out. So let's go to the game. Here it is, Arcade Spirits. Turn down that and start new game. So prizes, I'm guessing, are like achievements or something that you unlock as you play.
Yes.
Yes, everything's locked. They have hints though. Ooh, loading. So yeah, I am familiar with the characters in the game and the broad strokes of the story, but the minutia I'm not as familiar with, because although I've sort of watched over Amanda's shoulder, I haven't played it myself. So let's get into it. Database system online. New profile detected. Analyzing. Analyzing. New profile number 237771. Economic bracket, lower middle. Employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. And I like the little Space Invaders. I don't know if you guys can see that on stream. I think it's off the edge of the camera.
Nope.
Ideal candidate for premium level assistance. Proceed? Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. Overriding denial of assistance. Establishing premium service for profile number 237771. Justification? Hope. Well, that's a pleasant thing to start on. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. All right, so my default name is R.E. Cater. I'm going to change that. Yep. I'm sure if I was doing this with the Switch in hand instead of using the Joy-Cons, I could use the touch keyboard, but this is fine. Yes, I said okay. First name, Thanatos. Okay. Last name? No, not Cater. Go. Okay. Yes. How do I? Oh, change with the Y. There we go. Pronoun? Sure, he. Hairstyle? I actually like that hairstyle. That's especially in my current situation, not having seen a barber in several months. I think it's appropriate. Skin tone? Very pale. Dreadfully pale. Hair color? Sort of grayish. They don't really have like gray streaks in brown hair.
No, but the dark gray might work for like what your hair, like one shade darker would be close to what you have.
Eye color, brown. Clothing color, yeah, that's kind of me. Not black, just gray.
Kept it gray.
You think I should go darker on the hair?
If you want to, it's up to you. It's your game.
Alright, done editing. Name, Thanatos Gray. Pronoun, he. Is this correct? And this is definitely one of those things that Amanda and I both really appreciate about this game, is that it is so inclusive and does not try to force you into any particular mode. It allows you to date everybody in every possible pronoun, he, she, or they, or nobody. You don't have to date anybody. So yes, I'm fine with being male. Yes, that's correct. Premium level assistance for profile number 237771, Thanatos Gray, has been activated. For the sake of his hopes and dreams. So I probably should have been doing that in an Iris-y voice. I'm guessing that is supposed to be Iris.
That is Iris, yes.
The following is a work of
Iris.
fiction. All references to trademark stuff is gone from the screen already. Winners don't use drugs. I love everything about this in terms of the flavor of it. I'm going to turn this up just a nudge. Okay, level 1. Put your quarter up. It is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by evil, terrifying, utterly sinister, I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assistant AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and a lifeguard for the local community pool. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. As for the bustling metropolis of 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show you. Yep, that scans. Behold my quaint little apartment.
It's a lot cleaner than our apartment.
Yeah.
Let's be fair.
Yeah. But I like the gray sofa. And the kitchenette, dining, living room area, all one thing.
Big bookcase too.
The cracks in the wall. Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah, the IKEA bookshelves.
Yeah.
They seem very our apartment. Behold,
They have more bookshelves
my
than we
quaint
have.
little apartment. Can't complain, really. It's paradise, in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. She's not doing a great job. There's a shirt right there, and it looks like that's either a plastic bag or a tank top lying on the table there. I'm just more efficient at littering the place with my stuff than she is at picking it up.
She's been busy. She's got stuff going on.
Yeah, that's good. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most in my family tree, or at least I was before today.
You got fired from another job?
I'm gonna have to try and do the voices for when the voice acting isn't here.
Seriously? Seriously?
Thanatos?
Job since we left the suburbs.
The horrified-looking young woman there would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Juniper's the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job, like, you know, today.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay?
I'm going to turn the game up a bit. Hopefully you folks can hear it. Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Because you actually enjoyed that job. More than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelly socks, at the very least. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean, the community center literally fell apart, and the pool wouldn't hold water anymore. Whatever. I'll just get another job. Any job will do, as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong! I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling.
What's the point of us moving away from home if not to get away from all of that? I mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right? I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
Aw, thanks, Juniper. I thought you hated your job.
Come on.
No deflecting. This is about you. My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that's as good as, if not better than, the lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants, and your dream job! Oh, I don't know, Juniper. I've never really given it any serious thought.
I've got it!
Oh hey, I think I've got just the thing to help you out. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tapping an unlock code into the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he had got the fuel mixture in his water gun, right? Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe it can point you at some good jobs. Ones with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay. But don't take too long, right? Man, I look thrilled. In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life, too. Both of us had it rough, up to and through the point where we left home and tried to start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart, she means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us, against any dark forces aligned against me. But that's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic? Yes, but skilled? Nope. Typically, the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidneys sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense in messing around with it now. A good night's rest will act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. I'm impressed that the main character here can sleep after having just lost his job. He's very blasé about it, right? He's used to being beaten down, I think.
So that's part of the character that's built into the game, is that this is a person who has had a lot of stuff go wrong over a very long period of time.
Yeah.
And that comes out in the next section. So I'm not I'm not spoiling stuff that's coming out late in the game. I'm telling you, you're gonna find this out very quickly. He's just not had a great run of things.
Yeah.
And is very used to that. How you as the player have your character respond to that when given the chance is what, starts to determine what type of personality you have. That blasé attitude is sort of the default attitude immediately after losing your job.
Yeah.
But your actions and the way that you behave is up to you, and that's going to start coming in the next section.
So, no dreams, no nightmares. Just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. By the time morning light leaks in through the cracks in the blinds, I don't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she'd left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app. Find dream job. Make money. Sort your life out. I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays me well enough to cover the bills? So my options are give the weird little app a shot, or settle for whatever I can find. I'm not gonna settle. Because that's
you totally can.
That's the only way you can lose the game.
There is an achievement for that.
I don't want that achievement.
No, neither did I. It was the last thing I did.
Okay.
I could not bear choosing that. It's horrible.
So let's give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least her miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded it up, tapped the icon, and...
Hello!
Hello! Beep beep! It's Iris!
Iris is the best.
Huh.
What?
No, that's what the dialogue is.
I thought that was you making a comment on things.
Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here.
Oh.
Very normal in the distant future year of 20XX.
Super normal.
Thank you for downloading Iris, your personal life coach. This is the ad-supported free version, sponsored by Pizza Yums.
Pizza Yums. We should have gotten some Pizza Yums when we ordered ours. We don't have room in our freezer.
We don't have room in our freezer for pizza on a bagel.
Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime?
We could have pizza anytime.
When you have pizza on a bagel, Andy.
We could slice some thin pieces of chorizo and put them on bagels with cheese and tomato paste or ketchup.
You're the one who cooks ketchup.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most miserable things in the world.
Anyways, you could have pizza anytime.
Wow.
Would far rather.
Would you like to
try make
subscribe
a
to
tomato
Pizza
sauce with
Facts?
tomato paste.
Unsubscribe Pizza Facts.
You unsubscribe Pizza Facts? You monster. I always subscribe Pizza Facts.
Sure, cute app. Tell me about Pizza Facts.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts.
Your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Thanks, Iris. Pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose, in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database-searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already had a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, "Hey phone, search the web for job listings," and it'd work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. Between you and me, they really wanted to get an acronym that matched my name, but they couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to know more? Sure, give me the sales pitch. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. The system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people: quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Basically sounds kind of boring. I'm probably going to lean kindly. We'll see how things go. Sounds to me like your programmers also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct. My branding game is on point. Okay, so quirky sounds like a little boing. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady, which sounds like boodly, 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 responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm not that steady a person. I'm more impulsive. I just do stuff. Amanda's better at thinking things through.
I am far better at being steady. But we balance each other nicely.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. So I follow both of the creators of the game. I follow Two-Flower and Anna, and they're both awesome people. And I know Two-Flower has said that one of the things that came out of watching a lot of streams is that people were less inclined to choose the Basically app with the Basically options because they knew that they were basic. And
So perhaps a different name would have made, yeah.
There are a few options that people tended not to choose in like live streams because they're aware of how they're being perceived in live streams. So there were certain options that just don't get picked that much. There comes a chance for you to punch someone, and I guess that's not super common.
I think I know the time you're talking of, and I would kind of lean in that direction, but we'll see when we get there.
We'll see when we get there. But yeah, having played this game a lot and following the people who made it, I got to see sort of their response to how people have played the game leading up to the console release. Which has been really fascinating. It's been really interesting hearing their thoughts on that.
I'm curious to know if there's anything additional in the console release or any expanded material.
Straight up.
Yeah, we'll find out.
You will.
All right, kindly responses are compassionate and empathic and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a little bit wishy-washy as a result. Okay, fair. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means you're blunt, confrontational, and aggressive. So be careful. I feel like in decision-making, I'm often gutsy, but I try to be kindly in the application of those decisions. Just in general for my real-life meat self. Anyways.
That's the term I don't love.
Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both? Who knows? It's up to you. So what you're saying is, I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy. Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, it's basically bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no! They're all useful, in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. That's very much what I intend to do with this stream. Just be me.
Good way to go.
Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? My options are, "Hi jokes, I'm dad," or "I don't tell non-jokes, sorry," or "What's a dad joke?" Ah, man, that's kind of trolly. I don't feel any of these really. Think of the three, I'm probably more on the dad joke side. If it was puns, I'd be all about it. I am always telling awful puns, and I consider puns dad jokes because my father tells puns. So, yes.
They're definitely a subset of dad jokes.
Hi jokes, I'm dad. Seriously? Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes. I just thought that I could go for them. So now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators, keep it a surprise. That way it doesn't influence your decision making. It's up to you. That's a good question. I think I'm going to hide them for this playthrough. So I don't know what I'm choosing. I'm just going to choose based on the dialogue options.
That
So
makes
mysterious.
sense for you wanting to just be yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking
Okay,
things that you think
I'll
of.
hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses though. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now.
Good work.
Will you look at that? Such a strong personality. All dad jokes and nothing else.
3 dad jokes in the text.
You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or chivos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Can't argue with that.
Core gamers love Chivos.
Oh god, I'm such a chivo chaser. Anyways, okay, well, what's the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So, will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies? Or do I need to find a walkthrough for the vast game you're making of my daily life? Thanatos, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed, just relax and have fun. I feel like Two Flower has done a good job of making a game where you just play it. You just do what comes naturally, and you could, you know, manipulate things to get a certain result. And certainly, Amanda, now that you've played it through, what, 7 times more? 8 times?
Because I did both the secret romance, quote unquote, and the arrow ace. Like
Right.
The friends only playthrough.
So, anyways. But, not for this game, this run through.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to be like, okay, I have a specific goal in mind. Like, once you've played it through and you're like, wow, I didn't have that person as a romance option because I didn't spend enough time with them.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends, but I didn't, they weren't up for like romance. I really do want to date them. I want to know more about their story. You can go back into the game with that aim, but you don't have to be like, okay, look for a walkthrough to figure out how to get that to happen. Getting that to happen feels natural.
Sharky Ann! Hello!
Hello, hello!
Welcome! Thank you for making Arcade Spirits. We really enjoy it. So I'm going to continue. So Sharky is the artist?
No, she's one of the writers.
Oh, okay.
This is Anna, and I have been in your chat. I'm off camera. I've played the game a lot of times. This is my husband's first playthrough on his own.
My first time.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the console release, so now I finally get a chance to play it.
We both, I think, booted it up first thing this morning. As soon as it was available to play, I was playing it.
But I waited until I could stream it. Anyways, you can access your score type anytime you like with the R button. Which R button? Well, it doesn't work right now, so it's not anytime. Anyways.
I'm trying not to spoil my husband's first playthrough of it.
I appreciate it.
Trying to only say things that are non-spoilery. Informational without spoiling.
Like I said, I've sort of watched over your shoulder, so I'm familiar with the characters, I'm familiar with the general plot, but I don't know the minutiae of how things play out, so that's what I'm anticipating I'm going to have fun with.
I will say, without spoiling anything, there is one particular friendship in the game that after my first playthrough, I made sure to always be close friends with a particular person. And I won't give you details on it, but it definitely, I was like, oh, oof, okay. Guess I'm always friends with this person.
Yeah. Alright, and that's everything. Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roomie claims you're great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rules.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your
Brian and I
hopes
quote
and
that
dreams.
all the time.
Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Romance? Seriously? Seriously? Often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment right now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster, and hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready to start right out the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Okay. Sure, I'm open to the possibility if I meet anyone nice, romance with flirty first impressions. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one at least. Romance without any flirty first impressions. I'm just not interested in romance, Iris. No romance, just friendships. I'm gonna go with the middle of the road thing. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one. Yeah, I'm not naturally a very flirty person. I don't think that's the first impression that I really want to give.
It just changes some dialogue options, but it doesn't actually, phase anything off.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry that you're missing a lot by choosing that option.
Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet lovin' can come later, if I feel like it. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not, it's up to you, really. Now let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam, and I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
Bad command or...
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here. Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time is the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Analyzing. Analyzing. Please enjoy this recorded music. So, do I just stand here, or...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview. 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those. Please. I don't think that's too much to ask. What's wrong with what I'm wearing? What? For your interview, silly. You want to look your best. But we just... How... Okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Now, get a move on. Tut tut! You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Well, this is happening. But do I have a chance to get off this runaway train? But do I have a chance to get off this runaway train? Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could get dressed for Iris's job interview or stop before it's too late. So I get 2 chances to do nothing?
You actually get a couple.
Okay, well...
There's another one later in the game.
Let's go do the job interview. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right there rather than hop onto a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. Kidney. But
Want me
me...
to put that on the next grocery order?
No, thank you. I don't actually need any kidneys.
That means sneaking to the bar.
I was already getting dressed before she'd finished that sentence. It's not that I believe the silly app's claim at serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the follow. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. I feel like I should be putting Arcade Spirit hearts in my chat.
I did put Arcade Spirit hearts in the chat. Huh.
What?
Can't load available remotes from
Oh.
being cranky.
But, well... Oh, okay, here we go. I thought I asked it not to tell me what type of things I had. Oh well. It'll be worth a laugh at the very least. I choose to trust in the science. Well, I do like science. What is my dream, anyway? What the hell? Let's do this. Like I always say, go with the flow. I'm gonna do the what the hell. Juniper's right. I need to get my life in gear.
This game is great, Hikari Kenzaki.
Yeah, it's such a cute game.
It's a bug you're aware of and are working to fix it up. Awesome.
Aha! I mean, it gave me them in order. It's only the second choice that I've had for like a personality-related thing.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite games. I'm off camera, but this is one of my favorite games. I love it.
And this is my first time playing it, which
Yes,
is
it
why
is.
I'm on camera. I actually get to play the game for once, which is nice.
I'm just hanging out off camera playing Animal Crossing.
Juniper's right. I need to get my life in gear. So what's the harm in diving into something this wacky? Okay, there could be a lot of harm, granted. But the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks. Then, egads, go get a job anyway. So I thought, screw it. I'm on this runaway train. Let's see how far it goes.
I just have that song stuck.
Runaway train?
Yep.
And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out that was the best impulsive decision I've ever made. Spoilers.
Spot the penguin.
Oh, is there a Pegg-Wheat here?
It's right on the barbershop shop.
Oh, Pegg-Wheat Barbershop.
Yeah, I know.
I was looking. Oh, yeah. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. Can I say I actually do, when I'm working, which I'm not right now, I do work in a strip mall sort of situation.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
All that's missing from this is a CrossFit place.
Yeah, they need an exercise place.
I do love the
So what do they have?
clothing store.
There's the whole story. There's the Funplex.
Yep.
I can't read the sign that's above the Funplex. There's a space for rent, space for rent, space for rent, space for rent. Boring clothing store.
Delightfully dull.
Delightfully dull. The Pegg-Wheat Barbershop.
And a loan office.
Loan office.
And the Wub Sub.
Wub Sub?
Wub Sub.
Oh, back there. I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's mentioned in the game's dialogue in a couple
Okay.
places.
This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into a tight space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded-up health spa, once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds,
Hey, listen.
What do you think? I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I referenced and cross-referenced, cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. She's not wrong.
No, she's really not. This
Yeah.
is 100% Andy's dream job.
My dream job? Really?
99.97%.
With 99.97% accuracy. Yes. I should probably explain my confusion. Record scratch. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs. 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens up one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad, like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. What could that be a reference to? I actually had a friend who owned that game.
Ken had a certified copy from the dump.
Oh, wow.
He
Well,
sold
no.
it off when he started doing his digital nomad thing.
My friend Eric had a pretty comprehensive Atari 2600 collection, and it did include E.T., which
That
he
doesn't
bought
shock me.
as soon as it came out. I don't recall playing it much. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it had ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline, where everything went wrong. It's not great. It's not great.
That is a gut punch right now, I'll tell you what.
Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but, I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure. 99.97% sure. Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. It's definitely not a Deco's Palace. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, 15 years? Huh. I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. I mean, what the hell, why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself when I walked out the door this morning, wasn't it? No matter how risky, I owed it to myself to jump in with both feet. And when it all came crashing down, well, I'd recovered before, I'd recover again. Meanwhile, may as well take this opportunity in front of me. So I opted to push on through the doors and see what waited for me on the other side. Welcome to the Funplex. So there's snack machines on the right. There's the Showtime stage. Is that Fast Cars 5? It's one of those sit down and ride things. I'm betting that because they're all linked up together like that, you actually race with the people in the adjacent cars. I see Fist of Discomfort on the left there. Castle Crunch. Snack Runner? Snack Runner. Okay.
Yeah, snacks.
I can't make out the ones behind the time Skinner? Anyways. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers. Although it's so packed with games, I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyways. At once, I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from the looks of it, like really old. Although I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing? A Japanese import?
My sources say yes.
Checking. That would be Showtime Stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It won a lot of awards. Huh. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously a Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screen is new to me. Alright, so next to Snack Runner. Oh, that's a Pengy game. Looks like Pengy Pinball. Actually, those three in the back are all pinball. I love pinball. Ah, and yep, Mr. Moopy's there. And some skee ball back there. Fist of Discomfort. A hybrid real-time strategy and a brawler beat-em-up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. 2 genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. And a claw machine. I don't know what that bubble thing is right behind my dialogue. Can I hide the dialogue window? I don't know. X is actions.
And I don't remember how to do it.
Oh no, I don't want to skip.
Well,
Stop. Go back.
hello there.
Yeah.
Always nice to meet someone new
Can
in
I-
the Funplex.
History. I didn't mean to skip. Okay. There's an old lady. Sorry, ma'am. I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offered me a wrinkly smile. And you in chat probably heard this dialogue bit from her. Well, hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex. The what?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear? Well, I chose to knock off the first 2 words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
Okay, so my options are a Funplex? Is that when you suplex a clown? A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me, and you've been in business for XX years? I like the genie in my phone option. A magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here and find my dream job.
Hello!
Hello! I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I like Iris.
Iris is the best.
I half expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me just to talk about Iris like that, but she took it in stride.
My.
Oh, hello. My. What they can do with technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20XX. Although I simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line. I mean, I am playing on a video game console right now. I don't think that, visual novels would really work as arcade games. You kind of have to have the time and the leisure to sit down, and you can't be pumping quarters into them. So, I don't feel so bad about playing this on a home console when I could be playing it in arcade. And of course, with the current situation, wouldn't be able to play in an arcade right now anyways. She said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please call me Francine. As in Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it? Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear departed husband. Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
It's a great picture, Francine. Thank you. That's information I needed to know, yes. And you are? Tenato's Gray, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry on out here, but it's rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise, anyway? Oh, eventually you just sort of learn to filter out all the beeps and the boops. This is absolutely unbelievable.
It's so good.
I mean, I work next to a CrossFit place that plays music top volume that shakes the building. I don't even hear it. People come in and they're like, it's so loud. How do you deal with this? And I'm like, oh yeah, the noise. CrossFit makes a lot of noise. Anyways.
Look, it doesn't have to make that much noise. They just really like their music loud.
Oh, but they also like to play with chains.
Yeah,
like every once in a while it sounds like there's poltergeists in there.
It wouldn't be so bad if the music wasn't so loud and if there was any soundproofing between the two stores, but there's not. So.
And if they properly put their weights down instead of throwing them on the floor.
Yeah, they do tend to do that.
Anyways. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I found, but in the end, done. She quirks an eyebrow.
Excellent sound editing.
Yeah. Well now, that's faster than the others. Not bad. So, shall we see what you're made of? This way, please. Penguin there, baby. Francine leads me back down a back hallway, past public restrooms, and into a door marked Employees Only. Does the game mention the apostrophe? Okay. Okay. It takes all my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe.
I'm so glad you asked just before that dialogue popped up.
You want to clip it?
That was beautiful. No, that would mean me sitting up again.
Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a little too untidy. I don't blame the boy. He's been so overworked lately. Please, have a seat, and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident that I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. I've interviewed for a dozen jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. I've done that and it's a ton of fun. Even when you're very, very tired.
Look. It's really hard when you're really tired. You just want to focus.
Considering that I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but the point is I'm confident, prepared, ready.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
I love her earrings.
Yeah, Francine.
She's got a Pac-Man and she's got a cherry earring.
Yeah, Francine is a fashion icon.
Yeah. How many people cosplay Francine?
I don't know. I gotta cosplay Ashley. That's my goal.
Yes,
Ashley and Juniper.
you would make an excellent Ashley. What? Would you cosplay Ashley cosplaying somebody?
No, I want to cosplay Ashley with her, like, denim vest.
Okay.
In fact, so there was a piece of artwork that was shared by the artist for the game that was a rear shot that was supposed to be like, look, butts. But also it did give me the back of Ashley's vest, so I have to express my gratitude as a cosplay person.
Yeah, to know what the back looks like.
Back of that looks like. Yeah.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed because Butts Creed because I decided to play some Assassin's Creed, and the Assassin's Creed cosplay community has a great relationship with the devs. Like when they announce a new Assassin's Creed game, they give a lot of concept artwork to the cosplay community.
That's so good.
Anyways,
God, I appreciate that.
she asked me about what kind of dinosaur I would be. What?
If you were a dinosaur,
What sort of dinosaur would you be?
what dinosaur would you be?
Okay, what dinosaur would I be? I'd probably be herbivorous. Probably a stegosaurus, I think.
Ooh.
So, okay, brief aside. I don't know a lot about, how they've reassembled dinosaur skeletons or how the fossils are found.
The Spinosaurus just got an update.
Yeah?
Very excited about it. It's
I'm just
more
curious
gator-like.
about the common representation of the stegosaurus with asymmetrical plates. Why are the
Yeah.
plates not symmetrical? And why are they sticking straight up instead of like down along its back? Like, did somebody just make that decision as an artistic decision?
I'm
And-
shrugging as if anyone can
Yeah,
see me.
Amanda's not on camera.
No, I'm
Anyways,
not.
right, okay.
We'll have to
Maybe
see if
this
they get
wasn't
that,
wouldn't be a typical job interview after all.
If they get that paleontologist from the Field Museum back on the Animal Crossing
Ask them
stream
about the
from the Monterey Bay
Stegosaurus's plates.
Aquarium. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Go with the flow. Let's do this. T-Rex, no doubt about it. Pterodactyl, soaring through the sky. Not technically a dinosaur. Brontosaurus, big dude, enjoys salad. Of the three of these, probably Brontosaurus. Here comes a cat. You're not a dinosaur at all.
No, she's not. She's a kitty.
I've always liked Brontosauruses. If you could go dino, go big or go home. And not really brutal meat. Not really a brutal meat eater. Indeed, and nothing says self-starting go-getter looking for a dynamic job position quite like a 16-ton slow-moving lump of meat. Point. Good point. Yeah. Right. Maybe I should have gone with the raptor. Everybody likes raptors.
What's your favorite snack?
Favorite snack? Ooh.
It's a tough choice, isn't it?
It is. I like string cheese. String cheese is a good snack because, it's relatively low effort and still entertaining. I like entertaining food.
Well, Andy, when you have pizza on the bagel.
It's true. Pizza Yums. It's an entirely good option. Is it actually an option?
Not really.
Snack? If this was a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Always tacos. Amanda, I asked her before we started this stream if we should have tacos for dinner. But snacks?
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Pizza bagels! Say pizza bagels! When pizza's on a bagel, you can have... Hush you. Come now, dear. I don't have all day. After giving it a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. A tasty apple with almond butter. Whatever munchies lurk in the depths of the vending machine. I wouldn't say that the munchies that lurk in the depths of the vending machine are my favorite snack, but I do get free, snacks off the snack wall at work, so it's my most commonly consumed snacks.
But if you could choose.
But if I
you were
could
at work
choose...
And you had, a bag with an apple in it.
Yeah.
A bag with some, Taco Bell taquitos or something in it.
Taquitos!
And then, Cheez-Its from the wall. Which
Yeah.
would you go?
I probably would go with the tacos.
Where did you go?
I think tacos are a good snack.
Tacos are a good snack.
Tacos and only tacos. There is no other substance. Or subsistence?
Sustenance.
I can see you are a person who knows exactly what they want. And how to get it. You know what they say? You are what you eat. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
Good question. I'm good at inventing stuff, I guess. I am good at working with whatever resources I have available. I would say that's my biggest asset in the zombie apocalypse. And I'm a decent chef. Is this interview for real or is this a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. Engineering, I can make stuff. Medical, and hey, no lawyers left to sue for malpractice. To be honest, I'd probably get eaten on day one. I'm gonna go with making stuff. I'm not actually that great at making stuff. I'm not a maker, but I'm good at plugging stuff into other stuff.
That's true, you are. You're good at troubleshooting things.
Yes, yes. I'm essentially MacGyver. I can make anything out of string, a match, and a screwdriver. Especially if what you want is a screwdriver wrapped in burning string. Good. We'll need someone to build makeshift defenses and think quickly in case we get surrounded. An inventive brain is always a critical role in any survival. One more thing.
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
So, spin-off idea for another game?
Yeah, huh?
Just alternate universe where this becomes a zombie survival game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where as soon as you're done with the job interview, zombies attack?
Yeah, and you have to make do with what's in the arcade. Minigame.
The question is so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it takes me off guard. I told you, the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
You're seeking a job, true? But that doesn't really answer my question, does it? No doubt. You think my interview questions are a bit silly, but I like to think of the Funplex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks. Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But, well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters. And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too. Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the Funplex.
I will say, I appreciate a job that's more than, just trying to make a buck.
Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted. And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than why not. But the ticket. Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself. But that wouldn't cut it here. I needed to actually think this through. It's a funplex, a plex of fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know, not yet. I'm looking for hope, and I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare to take risks, I'll be stuck. Or confused silence. I like hope. Understand I'm not whining or looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade, and in and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago, but, well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time. I promise. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. That takes a lot of focus. I'll be just as attentive in helping your funplex. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. And an unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it. Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work, which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier at that. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet It feels appropriate, like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what the duties of this mystery job I'd accepted really involved. Francine gestures to the seat that she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
How marvelous.
Welcome to your new position, Thanatos. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Well, for prizes at any rate. It's such a relief. I'd really been stretching myself thin lately trying to fill in since the position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500-ticket plush dolls down someone's throat.
Oh, such a shame.
Poor dear, he just wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I've no patience for such nonsense. I'm sorry, the last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking has tired me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. Okay then. Let's see what prizes we have. I see something that looks like shirts, a whole bunch of plushies, there's a basketball, a bunch of sort of random doodads, gewgaws in the counters there. I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. Right? Guys, there's a giant Pegg-Wheat in the counter just behind the dialogue box. I wish I could get the dialogue box to disappear. Anyways, any minute now. Yeah. Yeah. You are muted. I crave the sweet embrace of death. I've been sitting here for 2 hours and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I start wondering if one of those 500-ticket plushies could really fit down someone's throat. I don't think he's a customer. Or maybe not? Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried in reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. He's wearing a Funplex logoed shirt, like, I'm not that observant, I guess. Was he here to play? Doesn't seem like a typical businessman on a break, or unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact, he's a snappy dresser. Seems a cool dude. Wow, he seems pretty struck up. I think he seems cool. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans. Not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. Or a linoleum knife. That would be a knife for cutting linoleum, not a knife made of linoleum. In fact, that rather pointed look he's offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? Pleased to meet you, I'm Thanatos, or I am Francine, I've had some work done, or I am the new hire, not that anybody wants prizes. Pleased to meet you. Hello, I'm Thanatos Gray, your new hire. I'm looking forward to working with you. He relaxes somewhat on hearing that. Somewhat.
Good to hear.
Ah, his label is Cool Dude. If I choose a different option, does he have a different label here? It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work that desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So, she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff? With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper. I'm the business manager here at Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Right, so, as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes. But that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that? You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets?
Seriously?
The floor, the arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're our second floor attendant. Ashley will be in later, but we need two. One to roam and one to operate the desk. I'd do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loves filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently has a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked in a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales? Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right, well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't, I hope. But anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Comprendo? Relax, I got this. Stress feeds me, makes me strong. This isn't my first pony ride. You can rely on me. But 911 for huge emergencies, right? Stress does feed me. Yeah. I eat stress and crap solutions. Don't worry, I can manage the floor while you manage the business just fine. That remains to be seen. The last guy sitting on that stool was a slacker and an idiot. And even though he was family, Francine dropped him like a bad habit.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly. I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs, a stress gesture. But his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory, that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm hurt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job. Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me, I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically. The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives. Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens. That includes
appreciate
Francine,
that.
who deserves better in her twilight years from desperately propping up a semi-failing business. So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, and you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard. Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm still trying to figure out my why, or why so aggressive? I just got started here, or no problem at all, I'm a model employee. You won't have any issues with me, I'm a solid worker. Gavin nods, satisfied. I got +1 relationship for that answer.
Thank you.
I suppose that's a good starting point. We can build from there. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate. If you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway, that'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi said Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher, the crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads in the back, presumably to the office to go crunch some numbers. If Francine's really taking a nap back there, hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be. But he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned. Although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees only, apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I turn the handle and step inside. In a little room tucked away between the back office and the Funplex front, I find that what is very likely this Naomi, spoken of only in myth and legend. Having worked a fair amount of retail myself, I'm slightly concerned now that nobody is on the show floor. Like, Gavin's in the back crunching numbers, Francine's in the back possibly taking a nap, the floor manager, aka me, is also in the back, and supposedly Naomi's in the back too. Who does that leave on the floor? I mean, I realize it was a quiet moment, but I never leave the floor. Anyways. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metals fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. Excuse me? For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high that she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense. Hello?
Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
She said with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Tanato's Gray. I'm the new floor attendant, starting today.
Oh! Hi! I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text.
spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench, where a huge stack of green notification messages lies in wait. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand, or I always assumed retro arcade nerds were fat middle-aged guys. That's kind of rough. No, I'm going to go with the first option. This room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. But what I first notice is her smile. Even when squinting to see tiny components on the circuit board, even when laser focused, she was smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
He's busy doing strange things with numbers.
Yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
Ew, that sounds bad. I had that exact monitor that's behind her and to the left there. I miss my Atari ST some days. Yeah. Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Oh, right. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place where the exposed guts of a nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in the largely hollow wooden shell. This is the first time I've seen the inside of one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple large slabs of circuits, and a beefy monitor. My options are, why is it so empty in there? Maybe we could fill it with nacho dip, or it's my first time seeing the guts of a game. I'll admit it, I don't know much of anything about how arcade games tick. I figured it was packed full of circuits and things. Naomi keeps working using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks. It could be packed in tighter, like a bar top or a cocktail cab. I'd say uprights favor form over functionality.
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so that they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer the American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the keyring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. There's genuine joy in that smile. Not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Oh, I love these classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles. The side art decals, the bold front on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what on the what and the what artwork? With a sigh, Naomi points out the key features to me. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. As for me, well, a bunch of weird-looking boxes in a row look ugly. I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. So you're our resident game historian then? I agree, it's beautiful. I like arcade cabinets. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, it's a box of wood and circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff. I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing. The art, the style, and of course the game itself. All of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good. Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny. Finally, so few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great. Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong. I can get along with him, generally. But his whole attitude just, oh. All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anybody's going to ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. That doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin made me the whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here, a long-standing argument with that the new guy really shouldn't get involved with. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not sure I should prod at it, but I kind of want to know, too. Alright, my options are don't rock the boat, clear the air and find out more, let her keep talking. I feel like I need to heal the breach between these two, but I don't know if I do that by clearing the air or letting her vent. I think me, IRL, I probably would. I'll just let her keep talking. Let her vent. See what comes. I just get so mad talking about what evil money-minded schemes he's probably cooking up. No. Not gonna get worked up. Besides, it's not right of me to dump all this workplace gossip on the head of the newbie. You seem like a good person, and you love arcade games like I do. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now, for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of guy. Well, a strong guy at least. Well, you're a guy. That's enough. Kinda. Sexist, but sure. I'm semi-insulted then? Okay, let's do it. Let's get to it. Right, a little to the left. Now, my left, you're right, careful. Now forward. Right, correct, I mean, not turn to the right, keep it coming, and there. Carefully, tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheeled dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again. Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck, and I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback, but thanks for helping me out, Tenatoes. I think you're gonna do great here. Happy Oh right, stomach growling. Food required, except I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
Pizza on a bagel.
Now I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel... Hey, so any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheapo Wib Sub place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right here. And she's off, scurrying back into her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying back from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go. She presses a boxed lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good healthy things. Wait, You're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What'll you have for lunch then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go to hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important? See you after lunch! I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideal for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retire to the employee lounge to get my munch on. I'm going to have to wrap up in a little bit, because we have to cook some dinner, and then we have another stream to attend to. The room where I had my bizarre job interview will suffice for food times. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. Utterly famished by this point, I have a seat and unpack my loaned lunch. Incoherent screaming! Or coherent screaming, or await death. With my mind and body screaming wildly, my paralyzed form is unable to move from the vision of terror before me. The half-person, half-animal waves their appendages in front of me, likely closing in for the kill. Hello? Anybody in there? See? Nothing to be afraid of. Ah, right. I see. Waking nightmare is what she's described as. Looks like you've stabilized. I was worried that I scared the life right out of you.
Hey, so I'm sorry if I traumatized you. Really? Can we start over, maybe?
I nod my head slowly, although that could have been just a muscle spasms from being in shock. And I'm Thanatos.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret yet not so secret identity.
What's the Funplex what now? This is almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was off the scale cheerful. I've met some really intense people so far.
Did you sneak into the employee section just to get my autograph?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought you would recognize Pinky from all the signs around the arcade. Pinky is the mascot of the Funplex after all.
Oh no, that's not what I meant at all. I meant I work here.
You work here? Since when?
Today? This morning, to be specific.
Oh, awesome! Welcome to the Funplex.
I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creatures that plastered on every wall that you had to know more.
Let's see.
You could have stealthily maneuvered your way through all the games, sliding right on up to the employees only door. But how did you get the door code?
Ooh.
Of course. You would have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided that the 4-digit number had to be the intel you needed.
Let's see.
Next, you needed to lie in wait for the opportune moment to punch that secret key code, just to find me. It keeps going and going. She's definitely passionate about this fictional scenario. Ashley's got quite the imagination, all right. Is that how I come across to people? As a creepy trespasser? The way she just takes an idea and runs with it. A lot of people might find that weird, but I kinda dig it. Shows a lot of imagination. I wonder if she's a writer or something. And how would you have snuck out, I wonder? I could have helped. But for a price. Ashley finally realizes she's been babbling to herself for a good couple of minutes. Oops! Sometimes I get swept up in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that dull here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement that beeps and boops, screaming children and broken machines. You aren't really painting the best picture here. Aw, geez. I don't mean to be a downer. I just want to move up in the world. I've got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, and cosplay to make. Cosplay? As we switch topics, it's like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Yeah, you know, like dressing up as your favorite video game or TV character. I love it. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. Empowering? Really? Granted, she certainly has the power to stop my heart for a few beats. Yes! Definitely! You want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. In fact, I made this one. I think Ashley is pointing her to her flamingo costume, but it's a little hard to tell with her hands as feathers. So Pinky is your creation? Intentionally? Yep, it looks pretty good for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I'd probably stitch my hands together if I tried that, or if you were going for terrifying, then yes. Or, I don't know, heads from tails, but I can appreciate it. I would definitely stitch my hands together if I tried it. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stuff like that, literally, if I got enough thread running between them. I'm pretty impressed though. Naomi was going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly you're digging on craftsmanship of costumes. Ah, thanks. It's nice when hard work is appreciated. I wear it around the Funplex to liven up the crowds, get people pumped to play some games, and the kids seem to adore it. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far, no crowds to pump up or kids to be adored by. Hey, secret between you and me? Ashley motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room once, and talks in a hushed tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm, and I was giving her an old test to make sure it doesn't fall off. Huh, limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was. Yesterday I was dancing with a little girl. Must have been like 5, 6 years max. Anyway, we were next to the Showtime stage when she tugged on my arm and whoosh! Off came the arm. The girl instantly started bawling. Well, at least you are consistently scaring people, and it's not just me.
No.
Hey now! I don't want that to happen again. I felt so bad. But enough about me. What about you? So you're Carl's replacement? I guess so. I'm the new floor attendant. I attend to the floor. The floor is the thing I am attending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. I can't wait to go home and tell Juniper I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I've met them already, although it seems they aren't too keen on each other. Right? Ashley rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. I wish they would hurry up and make out already. Yeah? Wait. What? Seriously? So, are they going out? Ha ha ha! Nope. But they always bicker like an old married couple. It's classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always ends up together. Mark my words, Thanatos. Consider them marked.
Beep, beep.
Beep beep, Thanatos. What's that sound? Drat, I set an alarm for when my lunch break was over. Time to go back to the grindstone. I didn't even get a chance to eat.
No!
That's no good. Thanatos needs his calories. You eat up. I'll go watch the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You can do my job and wander the floor a bit. Fair enough, thanks. Ashley winks before her pace disappears into the dark recess of the inhuman mask. As I'm wolfing down rice in the shape of a little heart, wow, it occurs to me that I didn't ponder my first impression of Ashley yet. Let's see. She's pretty amazing. I like her enthusiasm about art, or Ashley's got a lot going on in that head of hers. I just don't understand it at all. Well, obviously. The way Ashley's whole expression changed when she talked about things she's passionate about just warms my heart. Her beaming energy just lights up the whole room. I wonder if one day I'll be that excited about something. Anyway, with lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. And I think that's where we're going to end today's Arcade Spirit stream. I am really enjoying this game. It's such a joy to finally get a chance to play it. I've wanted to play this game for so long, and I haven't had an opportunity to play it because I didn't have it on my computer. Amanda had it on hers, and now that it's finally out on consoles, I can play it to my heart's content. I've got it on the Switch. I could play it in bed. I could play it anytime. It's like pizza on a bagel. Anyways, I'm going to say good night to everybody for right now. Amanda and I will be playing board games on the Battleground Games Live channel. That's twitch.tv/Battleground Games Live. Tonight we're going to be playing Neom, the City of Tomorrow. And I think we're going to play it as a single-player game. We're going to play it co-op. So look forward to that at about 7:30. I'll host it from this channel, so if you're following this channel, you'll see it. And I'm going to play some more Arcade Spirits tomorrow. We'll pick up here with the second half of my first shift in the Funplex, probably about noonish on Saturday. So I look forward to seeing you then, chat. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for a couple of follows. I had a fantastic time this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to more gaming with this soon. Be excellent to each other, everybody. I'll see you again soon.